Hey boys and girls, today I wanted to offer you a different kind of video, and this is something that I have wanted to do for a while, and I've seen a bunch of videos. I've just never really been satisfied with what people do and their suggestions and whatnot. So a little background on me. So today you're just getting my hands, which they're always scarred and dirty because I work on cars and guns and all kinds of stuff. So what I want to do is go through what I carry, and I've been developing EDC equipment. Well, not developing, but just developing what I would carry and the best there is for your money. And this is going to be what I carry. So, first disclaimer is I conceal carry a gun every day, everywhere I go. I'm not going to get into that in this video. That is a very long topic, and I'll adjust you guys a little bit. I don't want to get too much into it right now. I want to focus on other things besides firearms. But first thing we're going to go through, and one of the most useful things that I have is a watch. So you can see mine's seen better days. This is a G-Shock, and this is not cheap, but bang for buck. This is good up to, I believe, 1,000 meters underwater. It's got tons of different oh, it's doing something weird right there. I pressed some buttons apparently. Had a timer going. So it's got a timer here, it's got your date, it's got world times you can set, it's got several different timers for like lap times, it's got your second one up here. It glows in the dark. When you press that button, it illuminates. It doesn't glow, but it illuminates in the dark so you can see it. Very durable watch. I've worn this working on cars, welding, you name it. The G-Shock. See if I can get you a focus right there. There you go. Casio makes it. Excellent watch. Never underestimate the value of having a good watch. Being able to tell a time really quickly by glancing at your wrist is a huge advantage if your hands are full. You can use it. As you can see, this glass, even it's all pocked from welding and it's damaged, still very reflective. You can use it to send a signal if you were lost. And they're just durable. You can wear it in the rain, the mud, doesn't matter. It'll keep functioning. So highly recommend have a watch. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. And this is by far one of my favorite purchases. So this is by a company called, see, everything's all worn out because I wear these every day, Friendly Swede. So this is 11.95 feet of 550 paracord, and what I really like about it is it has this cool all steel just about 3/16 rod D-ring for your latch. Now the cool thing about this is it actually threads in here and it comes with 2 extra pins, but if you were in a survival situation and you need to hang something or whatnot, you could easily put this around, say, a piece of barbed wire fencing, or I wouldn't put it around a branch, but something solid that was small. This is about, my finger fits through here, so it's about a 1/2 inch or so hole. And the opening's probably about 1/2 inch. This is probably a little bigger, it's probably like 3/4 of an inch. I kind of have fat fingers, so you could easily put this around something and then tie the rope to it and anchor yourself securely. Or, as it's made to go through here, you could also latch it like that. 550 paracord is amazing for both carrying weight. It's very abrasive, so you can actually use it to saw through some things like zip ties if you were tied up by zip ties. It also is really useful for tourniquets and making shelters and whatnot. So this is another great purchase. Only about $13 on the friendlyswede.com or on their Amazon store. This Casio G-Shock was about $80, so it is kind of spendy, but worth the money. So the next thing I want to go into is something I use every day is a flashlight. Now this one I've settled on that I like the most is the Streamlight pro-tac. See if we can get it to focus here. There we go. The pro-tac takes 2 AAAs. You can get this in a rechargeable version that's much more expensive. The rechargeable version is about $100. This is about $37. Now, one of the reasons I like it is it's super bright, and it has a panic mode. If someone was trying to find you and you're trying to signal them, it will strobe. So very useful. I like this metal clip because if it's in your pocket like I have it and you catch it on something, this will pop off instead of breaking. I used to carry a Milwaukee one that had a clip like that, and it would break if it caught in something, and I'd have to not have a hook anymore. So it also has a bladed front end. It's not really sharp, but it does. You could technically maybe break a window with it. You could stab someone in the face if needed for self-defense. I like this button. It's very stiff, which I like because I don't like my flashlight turn on on accident, waste my batteries that I don't have when I need it. But I use this working on cars, in low light areas all the time, for constantly throughout the day. I use this, and I use rechargeable batteries off Amazon, and this was $37, so very good purchase. Highly recommend the Streamlight pro-tac. It takes 2 AA's. The next thing that I use all the time is going to be my knife. Now this knife is from Cobratec. It's an American-made knife made by Company America. Nothing is outsourced. It's all American aluminum and steel. And this is a powered knife. So for those of you that don't know, a powered knife means it will power out and it will power back in. Now this is incredibly useful because sometimes you don't have, your hands are occupied, or you only have 2 fingers and you just need to open it real quick. You can grip with 2 fingers, get it open, and then instead of trying to, fold it and release it and push it down, you just boom, safe again. This also has a safety mechanism. So if it comes out and hits something, it no longer is attached to the spring mechanism, and to reset it, so if I can do this on camera, it's reset again. So you just flick it and it'll catch the spring mechanism inside. Very nice knife. Now this was $90, so once again, this is kind of expensive, but I've gone through probably 20 different knives and have settled on this one. Another alternative that is really good if you don't want a powered knife, and like I said, you need to get a quality one if you are getting a powered knife. This one does have the safety mechanism. They don't always have that. Your next step up from this is going to be a Benchmade, and they are about $380, so much better knife in my opinion. This is their smaller model. It's about 3/4 of an inch shorter overall length. I wanted the more compact model. So another alternative if you don't want that type of knife is, this is a Cornwall edition, but it is a Kershaw. Let's see if I can get you a model here. The 1776 NBBW. Great knife. I've had it forever. I've used the crap out. As you can see, it's very worn. This is I believe, what was this? This wasn't your CR813 or anything Chinese steels. It's an Oz 2 steel. That's what it was. So very nice knife. Stays sharp long, hardened steel. Something you want. This was about $50 to $60, so it's a little cheaper. This is D2 steel, so you can see right here, D2 steel. So this is tool steel. It's incredibly hard. Very hard to sharpen. You can see I've got tape and stuff on it from cutting boxes open. Very hard to sharpen, but once you do get it sharp, it stays sharp for months and months and months of constant use. So there's the knives. The next thing I carry with me at all times, and mind you, all of this stuff is either on my wrist or in my pocket. None of this is elsewhere on my daily carry. So this is a Atomic Bear tactical pen. So for those of you who don't know what tactical pens are, this is a hardened aluminum body with a hardened steel tip. You can use this to break a window. You can use this to stab someone if you were defending yourself. It's very strong. I love these clips on here. They're very strong. They don't bend. And on top of that, it is a pen on the other side. And these are very common Zebra pen cartridges. So you can get them anywhere, at any grocery store, any store that carries pen products are going to have Zebra inserts for your ink, which is very nice. These are only about $13 on Amazon or other places online. So I highly recommend this. These are also available to be carried into federal buildings and onto airplanes. Some might be picky and not let you, but legally you are allowed to carry these on airplanes and be in federal buildings with them. So that is your last line of defense as far as areas that don't allow you to carry knives or guns. So very handy to have. I use this every day, like I said. It's something that everyone should have, in my opinion. Carry on you when you do runs outside, in public, so you have some kind of self-defense, and a pen to write with is always handy. So the next thing I carry with me everywhere, in my little pocket on my jeans usually, is the Gerber Dime. This is a fantastic, very inexpensive, about $18 multi-tool. So this thing is, you can see in my hand how tiny it is. It actually has some very nice sharp spring-loaded scissors, which you don't really find on cheaper or lower end small knives like this. You've got tweezers, bottle opener for your beers. You've got a box or leather cutter is what they call it. You've got your standard knife, and then on this side you've got your kind of fatter flat blade, and then you've got a smaller flat blade for tiny screws that has a little bit of a file on it so you could file through something. The pliers, and this is the only thing I don't like about this, but I haven't found a small one that's any better. The pliers have a little bit of play in the joint, but they're not really meant, they do have wire cutters right here, and they have some jaws. They're not really meant to clamp super hard. I've actually gone through 2 of these because I was squeezing super hard, and I have a ton of hand strength, and I bent the brackets back here and the mechanism inside here that holds it open, so because it has a spring mechanism. So you have to be careful with these, but these are very good for just day-to-day activities. When something mild comes up and you don't have the tool with you, these will get you through a jam pretty good. And they're about 18 bucks. They used to be about 12 or 15. They've gone up a little bit as everything has, but excellent buy, very small. You can see it's about as long as my index finger here, total overall length, so not bad at all. If you compare that to, say, my knife, it's about half the length. So very good to have. The last thing that I carry everywhere with me, and a lot of people don't think about, is a lighter. I buy these little Bic lighters. They're cheap. It's about 10 bucks for a pack of like 8 of them, depending where you get them from. And what I have here is, again, from the company Friendly Swede, which I'm not sponsored by any of these people. These are companies I just use. They have a slow burning wick that's in a metal sleeve that you can use to start fires with. And what I've done is I cut off about a 1 1/4 inch section of it, and then I taped it on with about a foot of athletic tape, which is very tough, resilient tape. So what this is for is if you were in a situation where you needed to start a fire and things were wet, instead of holding your lighter and burning your hand, you can pull out this wick and you can make that burn for a long time underneath some kindling to get it dry and be able to start you a fire. I also use this every day. I use it to get rid of stray threads on clothing, birthday candles at birthdays, lighting candles, in general. They're just very handy to have, and these are very cheap, and these are actually incredibly reliable. I highly recommend the Bic lighters. I've tried many different kinds, Zippos, and all kinds of stuff, but these seem to just perform and be there for me time and time again. And I really only switch this out about every year. I could do it more often. They are really cheap, but I just found that I've carried this one for about a year almost. Still lights every time. The only thing you got to be careful is when you put it in your pocket. I put it in my little pocket, my jeans, so it doesn't flop to its side next to my multi-tool. So these guys sit in the pocket like this, and I do it like that so that this doesn't get caught and get pulled down and waste the gas. I have had that happen once, but it's only happened once in like 5 or 6 years. So there you have it, folks. We've got my day-to-day carry. I carry these all in my pockets all the time, whenever possible. Sometimes with certain kinds of shorts, it's too heavy to do that without a belt, so I don't. But that is, as far as I'm concerned, your best bang for buck day-to-day EDC. You've got everything covered. The only other thing that you could possibly want is maybe some kind of med kit, but I find those are too bulky. You could try a little compact rolled up Band-Aid situation, but honestly, a ripped shirt and some paracord is going to get the job done long before then. So I'm going to do another video in the future, going more into an extensive EDC pack. I have a sling pack I use that will carry a gun and all these items, plus more things that I carry in there that are helpful for your everyday day, kind of just going through your day and doing the things you need to and having tools to get you there. So if you guys like this, throw it a like, throw me a comment, let me know. I've done a lot of this stuff for many years, a lot of research, a lot of buying and trial and error to get kind of this honed down. Also, I've been thinking about doing a bug out video for a bug out bag. I've spent many years building mine and switching things out and finding the sweet spot. If you guys want to see a video of that, let me know. Appreciate it, and catch you guys on the flippity flop.